10 tips to negotiate credit card debt yourself. If you're trying to settle credit card debt on your own, you probably realized pretty quickly that there's no clear playbook. You might be wondering what to say, what percent to offer, or even who you're supposed to be negotiating with. Hi, my name is Brody, and I'm a debt analyst at Ascend. We're a mission-driven company with the goal in mind of helping people get out of debt faster, cheaper, and easier. And the truth is, you can absolutely settle credit card debt by yourself. But how you approach it makes a huge difference in how much you end up paying and whether the debt's actually resolved the right way. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 practical steps to help you settle credit card debt on your own based on real-world experiences and what actually works in 2026. Quick disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only, not intended as legal advice. Now, why settling credit card debt is strategic and not just random? One of the biggest misconceptions is that settling debt is just about calling a creditor and throwing out a number. In reality, it's much more strategic than that. Credit card companies and collectors, they follow patterns, and they think in terms of timing, risk, and recovery. And once you understand how they think, you can approach the conversation in a manner that gives you a much better chance of getting a favorable outcome. So the first tip is to know your numbers and your goal. Before you contact anyone, you do need to understand your own financial situation clearly. This means knowing how much you owe across all accounts and what your monthly expenses look like, and how much you can realistically set aside for settlements. At the same time, you'll want to give a goal. Are you trying to settle one account quickly, or are you trying to settle multiple accounts over time? That will clearly shape every decision you make during this process. Tip 2, if you have multiple accounts, you may be sued, so this could be a concern. One thing that doesn't get talked about enough is that if you're trying to settle multiple debts at the same time, your risk of getting sued goes up significantly. This is actually a really big deal, and it's more common than most people expect. When you fall behind on several accounts, you increase the chances that at least one of those creditors or collectors decide to take legal action. It's not always about you specifically. It's about how those companies operate. Some creditors are simply more likely to sue than others, especially if the balance is high or if they believe you do have the ability to pay them back. And here's where people can get caught off guard. You might be in the middle of trying to settle one of the accounts, thinking you're making progress while another creditor moves forward with a lawsuit at the same time. Now, instead of just negotiating, you're dealing with a legal situation that can escalate things quickly if you don't respond. This is why strategy matters so much when you have multiple debts. It's not just about settling everything eventually. It's about knowing which account to prioritize, which ones carry more risk, and how to manage things so that you don't create bigger problems while trying to resolve smaller ones. And if you're in that situation where you have more than one account, this is exactly where things can get complicated fast, because you're balancing negotiations, timing, and legal risks all at once. Now, I want to pause here for a second, because if you're dealing with more than one credit card or multiple types of debt, this process can get very complicated very quickly. For this reason, we have built Ascend to help individuals work through their more complex debt situations. And we've maintained a high 5-star rating on Google based on over 300 reviews with hundreds of thousands of people that we've helped. So I'm gonna ask you to take a short form below to share a bit more about your situation so we can give you a customized solution 100% for free. And if you're like me, who's very skeptical of free things, I'm also going to link another video below about how Ascend works and why people are comfortable using our free services. Now, moving on to tip number 3, understand you may need to be delinquent. This is something a lot of people don't realize up front. Creditors typically are less willing to negotiate if your account is current. In most cases, settlement discussions become more realistic once the account is behind or in collections. That's because the creditor is now weighing the risk of not getting paid at all versus accepting a reduced payment. This doesn't mean you should blindly stop paying, but it's important to understand how that dynamic works so that expectations are in the right place. Now, moving on to tip number 4, start lower than your target when it comes to negotiating. When you begin negotiations, it's generally a good idea to start lower than what you're actually willing to pay. Creditors often expect a back and forth. So if you start at your maximum, you'll lose room to negotiate. Starting lower gives you more flexibility and allows you to work more towards a number that feels more manageable. Moving on to tip number 5, timing impacts your outcome. Now, not all debts are treated the exact same, and timing plays a big role. Accounts that are newer or still with the original creditor may be hard to settle for a large discount. But as accounts age or move into collections, there may be more flexibility. That's because the longer a debt goes unpaid, the more uncertainty there is around whether it will be collected at all. Moving on to tip number 6, know who you're trying to talk to. At some point, your debt may be handled by a collection agency or even a law firm. And when you call, you're usually not speaking to an attorney or a decision maker directly. You're often speaking to a representative who has guidelines they're working within. Understanding that helps you stay focused on the process and not to take the conversation personally. Tip number 7, always get the agreement in writing. Before you send any money, you want a written agreement outlining the settlement terms. This should clearly state how much you're paying, how the account will be resolved, and what happens after the payment. Verbal agreements are just not enough anymore. Because once you send a payment, your leverage is gone, and it becomes much harder to correct a mistake. Moving on to tip number 8, thinking about the payment structure. Now, while lump sum settlements can sometimes result in a better deal, they're not always realistic or feasible. Many creditors will allow structured settlements where you make payments over time. This can make the process more manageable, but it's important to only agree to terms that you can actually maintain. Because if you fall behind on a payment plan, you may lose some of the benefits of this agreement, and then additionally expose you to risk of lawsuit. Tip number 9, prioritize the right accounts. If you have multiple debts, not all of them carry the same level of urgency. Now, higher balances or accounts that are closer to legal action may need to be prioritized first. Others may be more flexible and less aggressive to legal risks. This is where having a strategy really matters, because settling accounts in the wrong order can create unnecessary risk. Tip number 10, understanding the bigger picture. Now, finally, settling debt isn't just about one account. It's about how everything fits together. Your income, your expenses, the number of accounts you have, and your overall goals all play a role into what the approach looks like for you. And so here are some key takeaways. At the end of the day, settling credit card debt yourself is absolutely possible, but it's not something you want to approach just randomly. It requires understanding your situation, knowing how your creditors think, and approaching each conversation with a plan. Because when you do that, you put yourself in a position to save money and resolve your debt more effectively. Now, the next step is to understand how to actually get the best deal when settling credit card debt. Because knowing the process is one thing, but knowing how to push for the lowest possible settlement is where you can save the most money. In the next video, I'm going to walk through exactly how to negotiate, along with what tactics can help you to get a better outcome. So make sure to watch that next if you're interested. And again, if you're dealing with multiple debts, don't try to figure this out on your own. Take the short form below and we'll help you map out a customized plan completely free. If this has helped you, I'd really appreciate a like or a subscribe. We're here to help you get out of debt smarter, faster, and with a real plan. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.